From news.mongabay.com, African clawless otters attacking African penguins. From prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guy Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know. Now, let's get into the animal news of the day. Well, this is quite concerning, considering the African penguins have been having quite a bit of trouble with their population. Oh, okay. But speaking of the Cape clawless otters, these individuals are clawless when it comes to their front paws. For some reason, it's quite unknown. These carnivores reach somewhere around 20 kilograms or around 46 pounds, and they feed mostly on different species of fish, crabs, lobsters, even different species of seabirds. Not sure about going after like young Cape fur seals. It certainly is possible, but this penguin incident, this is quite surprising. So the critically endangered African penguin has several predators to fear, including gulls, seals, and sharks at sea, and leopards, caracals, domestic dogs, and mongoose on land. That is because African penguins, when it comes to their home range, they can breed in different areas off the coast of Namibia and southwestern Africa, as well as the southwestern region of South Africa. A recent study has now documented the first confirmed case of yet another predator. A Cape clawless otter was observed preying on the African penguins of a mainland colony. Um, yeah, this is quite concerning. Now, I hadn't heard of leopards or even the mongooses preying on the penguins or the domestic dogs. That's a new one. So this is very concerning considering the population of the African penguins has dwindled immensely since the year 2000. And back in at least the late 90s, there were somewhere around 200,000 of these African penguins. And at least as of 2020, there were maybe 18,000 of them. Partially, this was due to certain oil spills that had occurred off the coast of South Africa and Namibia, causing harm to their population. Back in 2000, I think around 18 to 20,000 of these African penguins were rescued from the oil spill. I think it was like one of the largest wildlife rescues in history. But for some reason, even since then, their populations have continued to dwindle. But apart from that, these African penguins, they're somewhere around 28 inches in height and can reach somewhere around like 2 kilograms or a little over 5 to 6 pounds. And they also feed mostly on different species of krill, as well as occasionally different species of fish. And yes, they are monogamous, so they do mate for life. African penguins historically bred on islands around South Africa and Namibia, where they were safe from larger mainland mammalian predators like leopards and caracals. However, as growing blah blah blah. Okay. One such mainland colony is in Simonstown along South Africa's southwest coast. Between 2020 and 2023, the penguin population there has declined from 1,100 breeding pairs to 870. Sheesh. Now, regarding the caracal in this instance, so this is a close relative of the African rainforest cat. Now, this individual reaches somewhere around what's 19 kilograms or a little over 45 pounds, and mostly hunts on different species of rodents, occasionally birds, but at least with the African penguin, apparently they are going after them as well. Where the Simon's colony of penguins are located, this is over in Table Mountain National Park, just south of Cape Town, South Africa. And it's a very small park. This park is around 200 or around 85 square miles or 221 square kilometers. And it does host a wide variety of wildlife in the region. Um, not so much though elephants, lions, giraffes. It's just simply not suitable habitat in this region, as well as animals like wildebeest or rhinos. But you will find animals like the bontebok. This is one of the largest herbivores within the region. The bontebok. So this is a member of the Ellis cephalini lineage of antelope, And this animal weighs somewhere around 340 pounds and mostly feeds on different species of shorter grasses. And it's actually one of the most rarest antelope within Africa. There's somewhere around 3,000 of them, but their population is increasing. So they're doing quite well. In March 2023, authorities finally caught an otter in the act. They observed and photographed a female otter attacking penguins. They rescued two adult penguins and recovered carcasses of three others and sent them to the Southern African Foundation for the Conservation of Coastal Birds for autopsy. Interesting. Wow. So let's see. Yeah, when it comes to this, so the otters, the collis otters, they tend to live in colonies of like five individuals and tend to have somewhere around a mile of stream as their territory, or somewhere between 2 to 3 kilometers. So probably what happened is some of the penguins must have been adjacent to that region, though otters will go over to the coast and feed on marine life. So probably just fed on the penguins on the beach. With the predator visually confirmed, SANCCOB researchers were able to record and identify the characteristic measurements, location, and nature of the wounds linked to otter attacks. Oh, this is good to hear. This will help separate otter predation from other predators. Oh, okay. So I guess just looking at the overall nature of the kill, to identify whether it was a mongoose, caracal, or a otter in this case. Yeah, these seem like a very happy group of African penguins. They probably just came from eating krill. African penguins in Boulders Beach, Simonstown. Oh, okay. So this is that specific colony. Just a small group of them. He's very relaxed. With African penguin populations in dramatic decline, some conservationists say that identifying the penguin's predators and deploying the appropriate management actions is important. Yeah, but it's also whether or not maybe a disease is taking them out as well. That would be a good thing to know, since that tends to be one of the biggest problems for extinctions of different animals. That's probably why throughout prehistory, and you have all these small extinctions with animals, and there isn't any signs of some major catastrophe occurring. It was probably disease that caused them. Okay, so rangers, for instance, caught the female otter responsible for the 2023 penguin predation and moved it to an undisclosed faraway location within Table Mountain National Park. There were no further otter attacks on Simontown's penguins until more than a year later, suggesting that the initial relocation of the predator was successful and that appropriate or predator specific interventions can help to reduce mortalities. So it seems as if, oh, okay, so until a year later, I thought maybe no other predators had harmed the penguins. I'm like, wow, that's really good to hear considering how low their population is. But even then, that's good that only, a single otter attacked them. Here's the thing. African clawless otters pretty much dominate most of sub-Saharan Africa. They're very common. So probably also, however far away they relocated this individual, probably wasn't too hard when it comes to swimming to travel back to the certain area, or maybe it attacked a penguin close to where it was relocated. We don't know. Oh, and let's see. So, yes, or more Bonta book. You can also find certain other populations in different nature reserves in South Africa, as well as parts of southern Namibia. Now, this is the Cape Gray's book. So, this belongs to another family of antelope. So, it's not a close relative of the Bontebok. And it only reaches somewhere around 25 pounds or a little over 11 kilograms. And this individual mainly feeds on different species of shrubs or bushes within the region and can sustain itself for quite some time without needing to have access to water just by living off of the shrubs. And so just simply, yeah, here's a male within the region. He's a pretty healthy individual. Yeah, they have also some of the largest ears compared to their body size of any species of antelope. And tends to be common within the family of antelope that this animal belongs to. And yes, their horns do not reach much more than a few inches. So you also have the Cape fox within the region, which might occasionally go after the penguins, probably younger individuals, considering the Cape fox does not reach much more than 7 pounds or a little over 3 kilograms. This individual tends to focus on different species of insects, as well as smaller species of birds and rodents. And then, oh yeah, just here's probably a female with her kittens. So yeah, these seem like healthy individuals. Then you have a much more secretive resident. I wouldn't necessarily call him rare. You just don't see them very often because they tend to be over in their burrows and they're mostly nocturnal. So this is the Cape spring hare. So this is a member of the rodent family. And though it has somewhat a look of a rabbit, it's not a close relative. This is not a member of Lacomorpha, which is what the rabbits, hares, and pikas are members of. They are not rodents. So this individual also mostly walks on just simply two legs. Its front legs are not really meant to help support its weight. So it mainly uses them for digging. As you can see, the distinct long claws on the forelimbs of this animal. So they create many burrows within their territory, but even within a large number of these burrows, only one or two individuals might use them. And they also tend to feed not any further than possibly 700 feet away from their burrows at night, or around 300 meters, and mostly feeding on different species of roots, leaves, as well as tubers. Occasionally, they might even feed on fruit. Oh, and this animal is around 5 to 7 pounds, so about the size of the penguins, and they do have to watch out for the caracals, especially at night. Let's see. From July to September 2024, however, authorities recovered five more penguin carcasses. Oh, that's too bad. From the Simonstown colony that exhibited injuries consistent with an otter attack. Researchers aren't sure why the otters around Simonstown targeted penguins again. Otters have also been spotted around another mainland colony at Stony Point, but there haven't been any confirmed cases of those otters preying on penguins. Snyman said the recent observation suggests that otters could potentially become an issue to other mainland colonies and that further monitoring is needed. Well, hopefully the African penguin attacks will at least stop and they'll start increasing in population, or we figure out what's causing the decrease. So, from let me know what your favorite species of mammal or even penguin is in the comments. And from prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guy Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know because nothing is better than all animals all the time.